Ladies and gentlemen, we cover a lot of the chess world on this YouTube channel, and one thing that we really love is the concept of playing bots. Bots give us a little shield, a little bit of protection from playing against other human beings. Some of us have elo anxiety. Some of us get to an all-time high rating and don't want to touch it again because if we boot up another 10-minute game on chess.com, we're going to lose everything we ever worked for. Well, lucky for us, every single month, chess.com puts out some sort of bots. Sometimes they're fascinating. Sometimes they're not. But it's currently June 2024, and they're definitely pretty fascinating. First of all, we have the Martin bot, the famous Martin bot, except this time he's at the beach. We've got a couple of other bots as well, but in particular, we've got a bot with an elo of a question mark based on a historical figure. And that is what we are going to cover in today's video. I'm going to show you how to defeat all of these bots, and then I will play the final boss. I will try to educate you. Hopefully you learn 2 or 3 things from this video, and hopefully you laugh as well. One more thing. I'm out of shirts. That's why I'm in a tank top. I mean, I've been hitting the gym a little bit, but I'm not trying to show off or anything. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great weekend because I'm recording this on a weekend, and maybe it's a great weekday for you. Now, let's play against Summer Martin, who said, I dropped my kids off at the beach, now it's chess time. Sorry, why is he not supervising his own children at a beach? Okay, I have a lot of questions. I'm going to open with d4 against Martin, who plays d5. Says, my kids are better than me at chess, they're so smart. Yeah, hopefully they know how to swim, bozo. Let's play the Queen's Gambit against Martin. Eat our banana. This is a Slav defense, which is fitting. I believe he is Bulgarian. Martin has 12 kids. Good for him, bro. I mean, God, man, fertile man. Queen a5. That's a strange move. And also, apparently, his son can't swim. We're gonna block this check with the bishop. Okay. He attacks our pawn over here. We're gonna counterattack his pawn in the center. See if he sees that. He doesn't. So it's good to know that even with a sunburn and potential melanoma, this Martin still doesn't really know how to play chess. He doesn't tend to recapture. Now, I know a lot of you beginners watching this who have watched my video about Martin still lose to Martin. And, you know, that's okay. You should probably not be allowed outside without a helmet, but soon you will start defeating Martin, I promise. This is still hanging. I'm just seeing if Martin will ever notice it. He doesn't. Generally, taking with the queen is better here. In this particular case, I would stop defending my rook, but okay, he's Martin. I once ate a whole tube of sunscreen. You know, honestly, like if there was one man on earth to whom I would think that would happen, it's this guy. All right? Bishop c4. Right? We're using our queen and our bishop together. He's not going to see that. No, now he sees this. Okay, so our rook is hanging, but the good news for us is this is absolutely devastating and the king is more powerful. That's a great move, best friend. We don't know each other. Now I can take the bishop for free, so I get a bishop with a check, and on the next move, I will play rook to b1. So now I will get my rook out of danger. I feel like he's going to lose his queen somewhere, but maybe. Will you still be friends with me after this check? I mean, that is one of the stupidest moves I have ever seen. I'm kind of scared. Like, what's going to happen if I don't take the queen? Is he going to... Okay. All right. I guess I will have to take the queen. Now we're just going to go for checkmate. I think we have mate in 2, actually. This is a mate. And I kind of don't want to play Martin anymore. This is... No, that's not mate, but it's mate, you know, 94. All right, very nice. Wow, nice. Can you teach my kids to play chess? Yeah, sure, as long as one of them didn't drown. Now we're going to play Summer Jimmy, self-proclaimed coolest chess. This guy kind of reminds me of Danny Wrench. Not necessarily with the rating, but... All right, Summer Jimmy. Hopefully your children are not at the beach with Martin's kids. Surf's up, bro. Let's play. And then he says, sorry, I lied. I can't surf. All right, he plays d4. I'm going to play a Dutch defense with f5 and knight f6. Like this, and then I'm going to, you know, develop. Maybe I'll play e6, put my bishop on b4 to pin the knight. That's either a gambit or Jimmy is just playing like a 670. That's not a good move. What happens if I just attack the knight? Where's the knight going? There. Okay, that's not dumb. So the danger of allowing him to bring his queen out is that my king is going to get a little bit weak. First, I need to protect my pawn in the center. He has this check. It's a little bit annoying. I don't think he's going to play it. Okay. I block. Now is he going to go here? Wow. All right. So I am under some pressure here, actually. I was not expecting this from... Yeah, well, that's what I was expecting. Am I trapping the queen? Is that the end of the queen? I guess there's queen here. Okay. Okay. Let's trade the queen. Let's develop the rest of our pieces. He says, you got my queen. I did, Jimothy. That's another free pawn, and I'm threatening 2 more things. I'm going to continue my journey here and try to get the bishop. I don't know what that does, but I'm going to attack the knight and develop another piece. Okay, that was a short-lived excursion. I'm going to go on a sick vacation to Topeka, Kansas in a week. Jimmy, non-Americans don't know what you're talking about. So all right, let's see if Jimothy is going to see this. That's too long of a move for him. Rook takes pawn is my idea. Now he sees it. I guess he heard me talking trash. And then that's, you know. So now I'm going to try to sneak to the first rank. So he just gives me a knight. Now I'm going to just take the knight, and then I'm going to try to do this. Okay. King here. What? This is... Rook h5 is so stupid. You know, my previous move attacked the bishop to try to skewer the king to the rook. I want to win a bishop and a rook. So Jimmy's response was to lose this rook too. What? He just lost 13 points of material in 3 turns. Oh my gosh. Okay. Check here, 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 and here. And that's, I almost feel bad. I don't even know. I look good, but I haven't been on a date in forever. Yeah. Somehow that makes sense. And please do not allow any future dates to see your chess abilities. All right, we got Summer Nelson in a tank top. Of course, we know that Nelson is the famous queen bot on chess.com, ready to see how a real king uses his queen. What if I trade his queen? Yeah, in the first game I played d4, so this game I'm going to play king's pawn. He's going to go e5, of course, yep. And then he's going to play queen f6. This is what Nelson always does. Yep. The best way to play against this is to just play completely normally. I mean, I don't even know what that is. Develop your pieces. Of course, you need to be a little bit on the lookout for these pawns, but if you just develop completely normally in the center, right? You can chase the queen, but you can also just play like a developing move. Again, you don't need to respond to what he's doing. You just castle your king. The queen becomes completely useless. And then what you'll end up doing is you can start trading some pieces. For example, we can trade like this, right? And then the more pieces you trade, far less powerful becomes his position. Already we have a winning move. Because Nelson likes to leave his king in the center of the board, we actually can use a tactic to break through the center. Normally e5 doesn't work because black covers it twice, but actually the queen cannot end up there because the rook would do this. And this is all pattern recognition. So we could take the bishop or we could take the pawn, but this is actually even stronger. And yeah, Nelson is actually really terrible as long as you know, don't lose the game in the first 10 moves. I watch The Lion King every night before I go to bed. I cry every time. You see, he's a weirdo. Yeah, see, he knows to protect his queen, right? Now this is a threat. We can go back. We can also, you know, play like rook e1, for example. We could also probably play knight takes c7. Okay, now this is free. There's no reason we shouldn't take it. Knight takes c7. Oh, this is actually super brutal. We're threatening 2 things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The man who is known for using his queen has lost it. Crazy. And yeah, now Nelson just basically malfunctions. So we can just start taking away all his pieces. And yeah, you'll get this with practice for sure. I mean, I know Nelson bot is kind of like the bane of many people's existence. Now I'm cutting off the king's escape squares, and I'm going to play this move, threatening mate, and also threatening this mate. 2 mates are being threatened. That's a good move. Actually a nice escape. So now we box in the king with our rook. Queen g7. How did you defend that and come out ahead? Can I get a rematch? Well, he's the only bot so far who asked for a rematch, so maybe we give him a rematch. And I will show you just very quickly. I'll show you just how to beat this guy with white and with black. Like, even if you don't play solid openings, rather, if you don't play an opening that blocks the, right, like this, as long as you don't get mated, and then you just play logically, like, he's gonna put his queen all the way back, right? He's gonna play, like, maybe super aggro, but if you just play normally and immediately start counterattacking like this, you're gonna get a super easy game. Then you can take the center, you can develop your light squared bishop, and life is gonna be very good. Look, this is what I like to do. I like to build toward the center like this, and he's already in a big amount of trouble because he spent so much of his time in the opening just trying to attack you. Look, I mean, you're taking, and you're gonna start bringing in your queen. So you're gonna play like queen here, queen here. The best thing for white to do is play like this. And I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm walking you through every step of this, but yeah, it's pretty bad. I think we're already winning just by getting a counterattack going. Like, sorry, isn't this just forced checkmate? So we beat Nelson in like 1 minute by just, but look, all we did is we stopped the scholar's mate and immediately he malfunctions, right? That was super simple, right? And then he wants another rematch, but we're not going to give it. So Isabel, I was white, black, white. Now I will play black again. Here we go. And she plays e4. Buenas. I'm going to lie by the pool and play chess all day. All right, and you will lose. Let's play the Scandinavian defense. I've been playing this opening recently. What? You can work on your tan and win at the same. Not playing like this. Well, this is just. I mean, that's not a good Scandinavian. What is this? Now, this is. Now I'm just developing with tempo. I mean, we kind of have Nelson Light here. What on earth? She says she used to be a swimmer. Well, in this game, she's gonna drown. How about that? That's dark. Her queen did though. Knight b4. All right. But this is just really bad because now I have the light squared bishop, right? The dialogue doesn't even make sense. Just I'll get that king safe. So I have the 2 bishops now, and white has a damaged, isolated pawn structure. So I'm going to attack the pawn and develop a bishop. The goal is not necessarily to even win the pawn. The goal is actually to just get quickly castled. I could have castled short as well. And so now I'm going to get my dark squared bishop out, and then we're going to try to find a way to exploit these pawns. You can go here or get aggressive. I feel like she's going to maybe try to trap my bishop. It doesn't quite work. Yeah, and so now, it's a interesting question. This is a very solid setup by white. I kind of want to trade the pawn to get my bishop in the game, but then I am undoubling her structure. But I actually think it's not the worst thing in the world, and I'll tell you why. Actually, okay, that's just a mistake because I attacked the knight. All right, it was still a good idea for me because I was going to activate my pieces and continue some sort of attack. Now I am severely restricting the bishop. And I'm still developing my bishop. So I got everything I wanted, basically, right? But I still need to win. All right, the game is not over. And sometimes these bots are shockingly resilient. So let's play bishop here. The idea is just to not allow the pawn to move. Yeah, she's still trying to trap my bishop. It makes some sense. I'm going to counterattack the knight. So now the knight probably has to make a decision. Okay, she's continuing to try to trap my bishop, so we will fight back. Let's see what she does. I'm going to put my knight in the center. I'm still a pawn up. It's still difficult for white to move. And I think what we're going to do now is just open up this side of the board a little bit because the king is there. So, okay, now this is bad news for Isabel. The opening of the file. I mean, I can probably already skip recapturing. It's the right thing to do, but this is looking really unpleasant for white. Yeah, she runs away, but here comes bishop e4. I mean, this is absolutely just fatal here. We're going to take the rook, of course. Yeah, she's in a lot of trouble because we're also going to get the knight. And now we are totally swarming. And we're going to bring the second rook as well. Okay, let's just make sure our king doesn't get forked by anything. Put the rook there. Swarm the king. And, but now she's going to escape a little bit. Oh, or she's not because I don't know why. All right. But complete domination here. King is completely cut off, and yeah, white just can't move anything. Just totally shut down here. And rook h1 is mate. We weave a checkmate net, and that's checkmate. But she played very poorly. I honestly, for a 1700 bot to move their queen like this, and just, I got a lead in development by playing black, which just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's not how, but yeah, 1750 is crazy. I don't know how that happened. Okay, and now the Mechanical Turk. The Mechanical Turk was a creation from 1770 where essentially there was this robot that they claimed could play chess. But it had somebody sitting inside of it. So inside of the Mechanical Turk was a different strong chess player, and it played like Napoleon, it played all these players, all these people. And apparently on chess.com, it says, created in 1770, the Mechanical Turk was the first ever robot. World champion Jose Raul Capablanca is the player controlling the Mechanical Turk this month. So that means that the Mechanical Turk this month is controlled by a positional genius. Okay, Jose Raul Capablanca from the early 20th century, world champion, considered by one of the most talented chess players of all time, given that he grew up, you know, he lived in the early 20th century. So yeah, let's see how he plays. I'm gonna play d4. So I mean, I'm assuming this is like a 3100, 3200 computer. Let's play c4. It's main line. Let's play knight f3. It's better to play very solidly. Wow, yeah, this is typical, yeah. So this month it's Capablanca. So one of the main lines to play against the Queen's Indian is to play g3, play it like a Catalan. Bishop b7 is all very standard and solid. Bishop b4 is pretty normal. I'm gonna play knight d2 so that if the bishop takes the knight, I'm just getting the bishop pair. c5 has been played before. I'm gonna play this move a3 to try to get the bishop to take. And now I'm going to take with the queen to defend my center. It does not take. We both castle. Now white just has like a small advantage sort of forever. d5. So what I know about the two bishops is obviously I would like the position to open up a bit. So I am considering moves like, you know, like this and also like this. I think it's pretty standard in the Queen's Indian to take on d5 when the pawn appears there. It's not always standard to take the c pawn quickly. But again, because I have the bishop pair, I do feel kind of compelled to maybe take right away. But I can also develop first. But let's take, all right? I have the bishops, so I think I do want an open game. And now we have the following position. I'm considering the move b4 here to try to challenge the structure. But if I play b4, the Turk will play c4. But then I do get my bishop to b2. And I have to tell you, that does look quite nice for me. And now we are playing against this kind of weakened dark square structure. Queen d4 is a checkmate, so that obviously can't be bad. Queen c2 is also a pretty reasonable move. Queen e3 also looks reasonable, and so does queen f4, because c3 we just back up. But do I want my queen there? Or do I want my queen on c2? Do I want my queen on e3, or do I want my queen on e4? On f4. Let's go to d4. I think black is going to play f6, which is a weakening move. Or queen f6. Interesting. I didn't expect that because I thought that was a bit of a weakening move. But what about the move knight to e5? Restricting the queen's knight from moving? Rook to... I feel like we're close to something here, no? I feel like we're close. What if I take on e4? And then take on c... I'm winning a pawn there, by the way. I mean, I am giving up my light-scored bishop, so I'm not ecstatic about this option, but I am winning a pawn. The alternative is to continue to bring pieces to the center and just pressure these pawns. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. Do I have anything else? I think so, unfortunately. Queen c4. And then I feel like, yeah, the Turk is going to get a little bit of development going there. I mean, I do like the move f3, just trying to push him backwards a bit. Let me continue to think for a second. All right, let's put a rook in the center of the board. This move cannot be bad. Plays knight c6, of course. Now, the idea was always to take the knight. Now, he can't take with the queen. He'll get mated. I can take. Then he'll take me. Then I can take on h7, being a pawn up. Take. I'm going to take on f6. So, I mean, the Turk is basically giving me a pawn. Giving me a pawn and saying, my position is worse than yours, so take a pawn. Alternatively, I don't have to do that at all, and I can continue to just try to improve the position in the center of the board. I can also take on f6, knight takes, bishop takes, damage the structure, play rook d4, play rook d1, and try to attack like that. But somehow being up a pawn feels a little bit more safe. So I'm going to go for bishop takes e4. Now here I have bishop h7. That was my big idea, to give up the pawn. I can also play rook takes followed by rook c4, so I can win a pawn two different ways. But let's do this. So that's called a desperado. I was going to lose my bishop anyway, right? He said, you are a tough opponent so far. I mean, rook d4 is interesting. I guess a5 is coming, then I'll play bishop c3. Okay, against this, can I sneak in like a quick little rook h4 maybe? Like, look at this. And all of a sudden I have some weaknesses here. Rook g4. Am I creating a bit too much chaos there though? Like, am I giving my opponent too much counterplay? I mean, I got to go for glory, right? Wow, there it is. Look at that. That is crazy. But isn't the king so weak here? Wow. I mean, I was thinking rook g7, but then king f8, I guess, right, is a problem. So let's take with the bishop. What is the Turk trying to do here? Okay. But I still have an attack on the king ready. Okay, I guess this is just like the Turk is getting counterplay. I guess that's the point. I'm going to bring my bishop back. This is hanging, and that's the target. What? No, Turk is definitely blundering. What on earth is this? Rook f5, no? He's just giving me another pawn. I'm just up. What? What is happening? Check. So king's got to go here. I'm definitely winning. Maybe I can play b5 and actually sneak in my rook on b1. Looks a little bit exotic, but I think it might work, actually. To play like b5, give up this, and get in on the b file. So if bishop c6, I was thinking rook. I mean, I'm thinking I have to have something here. Rook b6. I do have to be a little careful of my back rank though. It's not completely flawless. This approach that I've taken. I can also just start pushing my h-pawn. These computers are very difficult to beat. So if I play rook to b6, right? Is rook c8. Bishop c5. But then he starts pushing his c-pawn. Maybe I just play h4. But at some point he's going to start doing all of this stuff. Okay. Let's get the pawn. We're now 4 squares away from queening. All right. He has a limited amount of time to create some counter chances. We're gonna start moving in and trying to deal some damage here. Is he trying to play like bishop a4? Okay, let's play h5. We are now 3 squares away from queening. Rook e4. Counterplay is being created. We anticipated this. That can go bishop c3. I guess d4 is on the way then, so maybe bishop c5? Maybe rook d1. No, but then bishop a4. I don't want to play rook f4 because I don't want to damage my pawn structure. But actually, rook f4 could be reasonable. It could be reasonable. Because then my pawn runs really quickly, actually. But somehow I'm like very hesitant to trade my really good rook. But yeah, if I play rook d1, he's gonna get counterplay like this. Rook f4, take. He's gonna play maybe rook f8. h6, rook f4. I have h7, and that's a win. So rook g. Okay, let's go rook f4. Let's go rook f4. Fine. He takes, but now I'm 3 squares from queening. Gives me a check. So the original idea here was king h2, rook g4, king h3, rook f4. I start pushing my pawn. And then the pawn gets 2 squares away from queening. And it's very, very, very close. He's claiming he can see 50 moves ahead. King f1 is another possibility. Rook g4, h6, rook h4. So I'm not in love with that kind of idea. This strikes me as correct. So I guess this is the move, right? So he's trying to go here. And so I think I have to play king h3. I think I have to go here. He's going to take my pawn. I'm basically all in here. h6 here, h7. It looks like I'm queening. There is a check. I back up. So this must be the winning idea. Now the rook has to go back to f7. Okay, great. So we got this far. Now, quite simply, I just want to walk my king up to help my pawn, but it does feel a little bit slow. But his position also looks a bit slow. If he plays bishop a4, I play rook to b7, right? Bishop g7 could be winning immediately. Is it? Bishop g7. He might go for counterplay with his pawns, like c3. Then I can play h7. Then he can play c2. And I can play rook c1. And I should be winning because I think I'm getting a queen. So this move bishop here looks like it wins the game. d4, h7, rook g7, h8. Bishop g2, I just move. Bishop g7, he moves the king. h7, bishop d7 check. So this might just be winning. Because I use my pawn as a shield, then I threaten to promote. The only thing I can see there is he plays something like rook f3 check, but then I just play king g4. So bishop g7, rook f5, I play king g4. This might be winning. He does, in fact, give me a check. So king g4 or king g2. King g2, there might be something like this. And I don't love that. So maybe we go king g4. But also king h4. But let's say king g4. And I think we are winning. Okay, not quite. We're not quite winning. Because that was the trick. The trick was that if I push, now it's a fork. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's never over. Okay. So now if I go to h5, he's gonna come down here. And okay, all right, so I was just on h3. So we have at least a draw, right? We have at least a draw. So then the question becomes, should I go to h4? I don't think so. I don't think I should go to h4. Wow, this is very frustrating. I mean, I can kind of just keep walking, right? Just keep going forward. And that does look like it should be winning for me. And also maybe try to bring another pawn. Okay, I mean, bringing my king to help my bishop and my pawn should be the right idea. King f8 looks extremely slow. h7, he takes, he gets both my pieces there. No, but this is so wild. How is this not just like an easy win? Because now he has bishop to e8. Right? Bishop e8. Do I have rook to b8 there? This is so wild. How am I not just completely winning? I want to bring my pawn now. I want to bring my pawn and put the bishop on e5 maybe. This is so wild. And I mean, okay, I can of course just like put the rook on the open file. The king wants to move forward as well. Like he wants to attack me with his king there. Okay, let's bring the pawn. This can't be incorrect. Yeah, of course, he's gonna try to set up this defensive fortress. So now I'm thinking like here, or something. Get rid of the rook completely. King g6 is still possible, by the way. I can also play bishop e5 and then king g6, which also looks like it should win the game. But I don't like that the king is going to join the pawns, which is a little bit of a headache potentially. So another option is bishop e5, king c5, something with like rook to b7. Which also looks... Let's do this. That's kind of another like sneaky idea. Okay, the king is going backwards. That feels like a win to me in my book. Whatever my book is. Now we can get in with the rook over here, or even on b7, or even on b8 potentially. But okay, let's go to b6. And I feel as though serious progress is being made right now. Rook b7 check. I think he has to block with the bishop. Good. Now king g6 looks almost fatal. This looks like I've made it in. And now, I mean, he's threatening bishop f5 check. But if I play h7, bishop f5 and king h6, he has to lose everything. So h7, bishop f5, king h6, rook h7, rook h7, take. And that should be a win. But I am a little bit still worried about these pawns. So we don't even have to rush. We can maybe give a check. We can also, I guess, sacrifice, but that was sort of always one of the ideas. Rook takes, and then h7 is kind of the same idea. Do I have anything slightly cleaner? Just slightly. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Slightly cleaner. I think... No, but I think that is a winning endgame. I think rook takes, h7, rook h7, king h7. Something like king f7. Even f5 is easily winning. So I think we're going to go for that. We're going to go for... So one of the options is h7 here, king h6. We trade everything and the king is there, the king is there. The other option is take. Yeah, it's the same thing. So we're going to play rook takes, h7. And now, because our bishop blockades like this, yeah, this is winning because we just play f5. And the pawns cannot get through. Nice. Oh, this is such a nice moment because I never, ever beat these bots. I never beat these like specialty novelty bots on chess.com. So now we play f6, and this is an easy win because our bishop just sits, and we are winning. It's the Mechanical Turk. We're gonna beat Capablanca. That's pretty sick. Woo! Nice. And this part is easy now. This part is easy. No stalemates. Let's get the king cut off. And there we go. We go a4. We go queen b5. We take. We go back. Boom, 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 boom. Just no stalemates. There we go. And now we get a little ladder going. I underestimated you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm still worried I'm going to stalemate, but I'm trying to pre-move the rest of the game. No stalemates. Now here you can still stalemate, by the way. But no, here. Wow, we're gonna beat the Mechanical Turk. I'm very happy. You are one of the strongest opponents I faced, maybe even stronger than Alekhine. Look at that. Hey, I've been practicing for the road to GM, so I gotta beat these bots. Does it have an ELO of 1? Wait, it has an ELO of question mark, and then in the analysis, it has an ELO of 1. Nice, I played at 92%. I think DC was a good move. Yeah, I think I played pretty well in this game. And I kind of had an advantage throughout. And then, yeah, obviously it didn't play particularly great, but I thought the way I played this was quite smart, transitioning this to an outside pass pawn endgame, and then just kind of relying on my blockade. So when when rook f4, h6, I got a brilliant move for playing h6, bishop g7, slowly improved my position, got in my rook, and then I sacrificed at the right moment. That was a nice win. Woo! I'm very happy with that. So shout out to chess.com for providing the good bot content as always, but I don't know why the bot's elo changes from analysis board to the bot page, but we won. I never, ever, ever beat the monthly 3,000 plus rated bots. So yeah, go give them a shot. I'll put a link in the description. Get out of here.